pay the price of something, you're saying it isn't worth it. It isn't the value that's worth it. You have places, what makes something expensive? It's because you don't perceive the value to be there. Right? It's expensive because the result isn't worth the price they're asking. It's not expensive if you pay the price. You've determined that I want that result. You might say it's more than I wanted to spend. You might cloud that by saying it was expensive. What we're really saying is these are the results I wanted, and that's what it costs to get them. That's what you're saying. The customer determines the value by the price we actually pay. If you say that that restaurant was expensive, it's because something fell short. Right? You have probably spent as much or more money in another restaurant and you didn't think it was expensive because you walked out and were like, wow, that was amazing. $25 for my Woodford at that fancy restaurant on the Strip was expensive. Right? But I paid it because I was there and that was the price. And I determined it. I ordered it. I know they asked in Vegas ahead of time, how much was that? The funny thing is, on the same trip, I'm at the South Point Hotel, which is about 4 miles south of the airport. That's what Photo Booth Expo is. And I go to the bar. My friend Matt Campbell, who's just on my podcast again, I just recorded with him. And I go to the bar, and they have Jack Daniel's Single Barrel, which I just had at my brother-in-law's. I was like, that's pretty good. I don't like Jack Daniel's, but the Single Barrel was pretty good. And I said, how much is the serving of Jack Daniel's Single Barrel? He said, $8. I said, 18? He said, no, $8. Hit me. So that's the difference. If you go about 6 miles south, it's $8, right? Or $25 for this. And that bottle of Jack Daniel's is twice the price of that bottle of Woodford, and it was $8. So let's drive down south and go get a drink, right? Discounting changes the value. You set the price, they determine the value. When you lower that price, when you say, here's my price, but I'll do it for this, you've changed the value proposition. Value is always relative to the price that they pay. When they pay a higher price, they expect a better result. If you're doing a better result, charge a higher price. Right. And I'll leave you with this thought. Discount or negotiate is if you don't need the business, even when you desperately do. When you have that open date and you keep getting inquiries and nobody's booking it, you're like, please, 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 please. They smell blood in the water, the sharks, and you'll start giving away the store to book that date. So have the confidence to know it will book. My uncle also passed this year, 93 years old. He was a life coach until the day he died. 93 years old. I guess you have pretty good credibility for life at 93, right? And when I started my business, when I left the knot, he had told me one year, early on, he said, you're pushing too hard. He was all about energy and joy and stuff like this. He was on Oprah twice when she was just in Chicago, wrote a book called You Can Have It All. And he talked about the universal energy and the laws of attraction and stuff. He said, I didn't make this stuff up. This is just my take on it, right? And he said, you're pushing too hard. Pull back and let it come to you. And I thought about all the times where I'd have those open dates and I'd be like, oh man, hey, pictures, let's make something happen. Let's do something, come on, Corey, let's do something. And that was the wrong energy. That was the desperate energy. That was the negative energy. And I pulled back, and the next year my business went up 40%. And every time I'm feeling like, oh, there's some openings, now I'm thinking, well, that's good. I don't have to fly that week. That's nice. I can sleep in my own bed next to my wife. That's good, right? And then if it fills, it's like, okay. And if it doesn't, it's okay. Now I had to earn that right? This is 12 years of business, I had to earn that right. But I'm at that point where I was like, yeah, I'm doing things, but I'm not desperate. Because when you are, you start giving away. And otherwise you hold to your price. So be down with OBD, you know me. And keep more of your profits. Let's get some data. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to break for dinner. There are a couple of restaurants here in the hotel. You go out around, they're off the main lobby of the hotel. They're way over there. But there are a couple of restaurants over there. You don't want to do that if you're not familiar with the area. There are quite a few restaurants up off of Kingston Mills Road. You can turn right out of here and go up the next street, you'll hit Kingston Mills. Some on the right, some on the left, some on the other side of the highway, so there's a lot to choose from. So we'll break for that. We want to be back here by 6:30. We'll have, we were going to have it before, but when we get back, we'll have the video presentation by Lindsay Williams about the wedding shows, and after that, we're going to hear from Chris, and then the final presentation from Alan, if he hasn't lost his voice yet. So, see you back here at 6:30.
Dance competition, taking the entire place. Girls,